Hey lovelies, I'm Laura and I just wanted to explain how I ended up becoming a personal trainer after being a life coach and yoga teacher. So I feel like they're quite different things, doing yoga and life coaching and then doing personal training, and it's not a super common journey to have been in the more spiritual, softer side of life and then end up coming to personal training, which has quite a strong and like a real rare and it's just got an edge to it that people in the yoga world are normally not so drawn to, but I feel like it's super important to talk about because it's such a beautiful journey. So I did my yoga teacher training nearly 3 years ago now, and I'd been doing yoga for many, many years before that. And I love yoga, I still do, and I still do practice yoga, but I feel like it's much more of a supplementary. Ooh, wow, my microphone head just fell off. Okay, we don't need that. Use it much more as a supplementary journey to my yoga, to my physical practices, and use it much more for my mental health rather than for my physical health. Yeah, and then lifting has become my beautiful sensual practice that involves breathing techniques, it involves full body awareness, it involves moving and postures and body awareness and all the things that yoga involves, yet the scientific evidence is there to show how impactful it is on your body. That's kind of the main drive for me that's made me transition my focus. And yeah, I guess from life coaching, I want to be able to make an impact for people. And the most impactful thing that we can do as women, particularly if you're a woman in your 30s, 40s, it is lifting. It is absolutely key to longevity. And the earlier we start, the better. So if you're in your 20s or in your teens and thinking about starting, start sooner. Sooner is better always. Like, what's that saying about planting a tree? The best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago. And if you haven't planted one 10 years ago, then the best time is now. So you might as well start now. Yes. So, the benefits. First of all, there is benefits that you're going to see that are totally just physical changes in your body that are going to make you feel good. Your resting metabolism rate will rise, which means you're going to be burning more calories, and that means you're going to be able to enjoy more food, and you will lose weight, most likely, as long as you're eating the right foods, which is another important factor, of course, for recovery and for your health. But yeah, you will see physical changes in your bodies that's gonna feel freaking amazing. Like, it's not wrong for us to want to look good because we want to look healthy. That is ultimately what we're desiring when we're like, I want my body to look a particular way. And often we go about it in such weird ways, like trying to starve ourselves or like doing crazy amounts of cardio. But that stuff's just not sustainable, and it's not going to actually make you healthy, and it's unlikely to give you the appearance that you actually want. Whereas if you're trying to get stronger and you're trying to build muscle, you're going to gain muscle, and that's going to give you that lean, healthy look that you're desiring. It's just inevitable. And yeah, there is such thing as getting bulky, but you would have to work crazy hard to get bulky. If that's what you want, go for it. But if that's what you're worried about, and that's what's holding you back, it's like saying, oh, I'm not going to come ice skating with you because I don't want to become a professional Olympic ice skater. You know, that's kind of the likelihood of you getting too bulky. The reality is you're going to just be strong and lean and feel powerful and sensual and sexy. And that's really exciting. Anyway, moving on from physical appearances, there's so much more. So, bone density is a huge one. As someone who was vegan for 15 years nearly, it's something that kind of really plagues my mind sometimes, in that I don't believe I was getting enough calcium, and I definitely did end up deficient in vitamin D at one point, and those things can both really affect your bone density, and something that I'm doing now to try and make sure that I improve or retain my bone density is lifting. It's one of the only proven things to help you retain and even improve your bone density, which is particularly important in women, is as we start to age and we go through menopause, we start to lose bone density. So there's another awesome reason to start lifting. What else have we got? My gosh, there's just, I guess, the mental health benefits. We should definitely talk about that. I guess there's just the general endorphins and usual good hormones that you get from a good workout. And you'll have moved your body. You will also be setting goals. So you might be wanting to improve your strength in a certain thing that you're doing. Generally, you would have a program, say a 6-week program, where you're doing similar or the same exercises in various stages, and you would be improving, and you would have these markers of, hey, I'm actually seeing these physical improvements when I've been doing this thing that I've committed to. And just experiencing growth and achievement is so good for our mental health. And also proving to yourself that you can do hard things. Because it's so easy in life now to not do hard things. We sit around watching things, we sit around scrolling, we have quick fixes for things, like it's quicker and easier to put things in the air fryer. So life is getting simpler and simpler and easier outside of work anyway. And yeah, proving to yourself that you can do hard things is going to make huge shifts in the rest of your life too. You will see that. And it takes some time, it takes some practice, but you will get there. And that's another fucking sexy thing to do. Gosh, what other benefits do we have? We talked about one of the physical, the mental. Let's go with spiritual. My gosh, I feel like, the breathing techniques that go along with lifting. So we know in yoga that bringing awareness to the breath is regulating our nervous systems, and that's actually something that we're doing in lifting too. Because when you're lifting, you're making sure you breathe in, out during the hardest part, and back in, and you're also restoring your breath at the end of a difficult set. So you've got different types of breathing practices going on, and full body awareness. So you've got simple movement practices, which might be like a squat, and then there's more complex movements such as Bulgarian split squats. Look them up if you don't know them. They're evil, but really good, but so evil. And yeah, particularly these more complex movement practices, once you get onto those after building a strong foundation, you're really starting to challenge your mind and body to create these new neural pathways, which is bringing, greater movement practices in general in the rest of your life, which will carry into old age. So you're less likely to have a fall when you're old. You're more likely to retain your mobility. You're more likely to be able to move through life in a way that feels graceful and nice. And life's just gonna feel easier. Life just life just gets better. Life gets a bit sexier. What can I say? And finally, as a petite woman, I just want to touch that subject because if you're a short woman like me, you will have really noticed the fitness industry and wellness industry and how confusing things are in general for all women, but particularly for petite women. I feel like we're underrepresented, represented in media in general, but particularly in the fitness world. And the body types that we're trying to get to by doing furious amounts of cardio, or by if you've ever had one of those apps where you put in your calories and it tells you, oh, you need to be eating like 1,200 or less calories to achieve your goals of what weight you actually want to be. And then you've tried that, you will have probably been in this cycle of feeling like shit, having crazy cravings and low energy and just like struggling and then giving up, or like accidentally like caving and feeling like you're back to zero or even worse afterwards. And that's such a struggle in particular for petite women because these small changes make really big impacts in our bodies. And so we've got kind of the same when it comes to lifting, in that these small changes are going to make a big impact, not in the sense of them getting you bulky, but in the sense of them raising that metabolic resting rate, which is going to allow you more food freedom and to just feel more confident in your body and more at ease with food. And yeah, it's just going to do delightful things for you. Yeah, I am working on creating a program. So if you are interested in joining a strength training program that is simple but effective, please comment program below and I will send it through to you once I have created it, because it is not yet created. I am in the final few months of my personal training, so if you're seeing this in a few months, it might already be out. Yeah, comment below. And please like, subscribe, all those usual things. It would be really awesome to be able to share with more people. So if you think a friend would resonate with this, please share it with a friend. Ta-ta for now. That was a really weird sign off. I don't like that. Okay, goodbye.